Right. Greetings, Sanbonan Dumelani, and thank you all for taking time to join us. Uh, I'm just going to be brief because of time and explain the purpose of this meeting. And uh, yeah, and we'll then take it from there. I had wished today would maybe all right. I had wished that today maybe we can give people a chance to ask questions, especially if we have invited other people. So, uh, unfortunately, the number is still the same. So it looks like I'm going to have to continue. So basically, what is happening here, ladies and gentlemen, I am proposing this business model or this strategy. I am proposing this strategy to the to my people around me, my acquaintances, friends, families, and neighbors, and everyone that I personally hang around with. So I then created this idea to say, guys, can't we do something to change our, financial landscape or our financial status? Because at the present moment, most of the people I'm associated with, we are experiencing similar challenges, especially financially. So because of that, one has been trying to think very deep, Uti, what can one do or what can we do to change our status financially? So looking at the economy and looking at various things, and the experience that one has gained in different what you call different spheres, whether it's business or running an NPO, because I've been in an NPO space for many years, and I also started some few business. Most of them just died. Those businesses are gone. As an entrepreneur, you try different things, and yeah. So one thing I have never really given time is studying the field of money. I'd never really given myself time to study this. I would come to the space, summer investments and finances, only when I'm invited by people to say there's an investment this side. So I will jump in and one umatelo or investor. And then at the end of the day, all the platforms I've tried to invest in, I tend to be banned, right? And you lose a lot of money in the process. So I then, like, I've tried different platforms, like I'm saying, until one day one is sitting and is saying, I've been in this platform and that platform and that platform, and I see what works and I see what doesn't work. And there are other organizations that one can learn two or three things from. So let's see what can we come up with, because I've been one of I've been privileged to be one of the investors in a crowdfund previously. So that crowdfund was a success. So I started then becoming interested in understanding crowdfunds works. So I started doing my research and studying the crowdfund and the strategy behind the crowdfunds. So until now, where one feels, and this thing is very simple. We can do this, especially as people. So that's why then I then took an initiative to say, let me try and communicate with people around me and share the idea, especially of a crowd fund. But we create a crowd fund. Now I'm copying a model that I've seen work somewhere in one of the platforms I've been trying along the way. There's this company called Dewpoint. It's a South African company. It's called Dewpoint, right? So if you do your research on Dewpoint or just research Dewpoint, you will see what I'm talking about. Dewpoint has been running effectively for over 3 years. I've known of Dewpoint 3 years earlier. So when I came to visit them now recently to see what they are doing, I realized that these guys have grown and they are doing wonders. And I look at their model, their platform, and I saw that, Neyman, there's power in this thing. I've been with StepChain. StepChain was using a platform model, but StepChain, yes, is still there, but they keep on changing things now and again. So a lot of people end up losing interest in StepChain. So I'm not going to talk much about step change, but I'm saying the platform idea combined with a crowdfund idea or strategy, there is something here that one can work on. So I started doing my playing around with ideas, playing around with figures, trying to figure out or what can one come up with out of these two models combined together. And finally, I managed to come up with what I called a crowdfund platform uh, where we can build assets for ourselves. I call it asset-based recurring income. Assets-based recurring income. So, what is asset-based recurring income? It's basically that we are building assets that generates income, whether weekly, daily, monthly, or annual. So we are building those assets. So the next question will be, what are those assets that you suggest that we build or we create those assets that will generate income for us, whether monthly or weekly or whatever, right? But recurringly. So what are those assets? And it's then that one started taking back now the experience, yeah, how Yahoba in the field, these small businesses, because previously I've worked with over I was telling somebody earlier on today to say, looking back, I have assisted a number of small business in the Val and even in Orange Farm. There was a time in my database where I had about 60 something cooperatives that I registered and I went all out to assist those cooperatives. So you learned this and that from different platforms, from different atmospheres, Now I'm trying to put this together. So in short, I developed this model with an experience that I gained from different stages where I have been. So the model works like this, or this platform or this strategy works something like this. One, there's going to be different assets that we promote. Unfortunately, on this document, okay, here we go. There's going to be different assets that we are going to introduce and promote. So all of us are going to be engaged in promoting these assets, right? The strategy works like this. Starting with only 100 Rand a month, together we can create a different financial future. Look, I'm just trying to show you, if we are smart with money and put money to work for us, right? Rather than us working for money. If we put money to work for us and we place money in right positions where it can produce, right? Because money is like a seed. Now, if you use it effectively, it can work for you, right? So what then we do is we're not going to ask for a lot of money from people. People don't have money. We want to grow money. We want to play around with money in order to make money, and we want to develop something that can work within us. Something that circulates the money amongst us, right? You'll get to understand as I continue what I'm trying to explain here. Now, with that being said, we are saying starting with only 100 Rand a month, together we can create a different financial future. So you will sign up as a wealth planner with Trama Agency and get full access to the following: an innovative joint wealth creation opportunity. It's a joint wealth creation opportunity. And two, a comprehensive platform with an awesome benefits. Three, four asset-based recurring income opportunity. There are actually five, but we're speaking of four now, right? Four asset-based recurring income opportunity. The first platform is the platform itself, the app itself, the website itself is going to be an asset that is going to generate income for the crowd fund and also generate income for people who are helping to promote the platform or to promote the app or the website. I hope I'm making sense. So you are going to, your work is very simple. It's basically about promoting the app, right? You don't do the media presentations. You don't do a lot of things. Yours is just to promote the website. And when you promote the website, and how do you promote the website? You promote the website by inviting people to join our meetings that we will hold every Wednesday at 7. Let's say at 7, Right, so we have these meetings. So yours is just to invite people to attend these Zoom meetings, and then we will have trained presenters who will change weekly, but week by week, that will do the presentations. Now, sorry about that. And then what happens is, uh, how does the platform work? Right, there will be a product, there will be a different product that we are going to talk about. There will be lending and borrowing, and then there's also a property side of things where we are intending to own properties. There's a partnership that we have built with about two companies. They are my friends. One of them is doing a great job in Durban, in real estate. So I've tried to hook them in to help us in terms of, we will raise the funds, and then they work with us as our asset management company in terms of property. In particular, strictly in property. So they will work like an asset manager. They will identify the assets that they take along bona they know with their experience or di pleke tseo di tholahala kae, di plekeng tse jwang, and then di na le potential e kakang, and all those things. They will guide us, they will advise us, and of course we will go into percentages le bona. So bona they identify these places, raise money, we go into those properties, we buy those properties, right? Hello, there's someone. Okay. Let me see. I think it is. Let me try and mute him. Right, yeah. So that is the case. Those are the four platforms that we have. Sorry about that. And then the platform itself, it's basically us promoting the platform. Inside the platform, you are going to get all the or inside the website or the app, you are going to get all the assets. Right? The first asset, like we said, it's the platform itself, where people will register with the platform or register with the app. And then after registering with the app, we give you an opportunity to promote the app. When you promote the app, it's very simple to promote the app. What do you tell your family? What do you tell your friends about the app? Why the app? The app is designed in a sense that when you join or subscribe to the app, you become a shareholder of the Trama Agency Crowdfund. You become a shareholder of Trama Agency Crowdfund model or strategy. Now, what does the strategy do? The strategy is raising funds from the crowd. But we are not just raising funds from the crowd for no reason. We are raising these funds from the crowd in order for us to create this asset. The first asset, let's say the first asset, let me start with the lending and borrowing, because I've seen the potential, the lending and borrowing. Earlier on, I was telling somebody about the lending and borrowing. This thing is very simple. You can make a huge money with lending and borrowing through an app, right? Without you going out there all over the client. If you have a community, if you have your tribe, if you have people around the app, people who believes in the app, people who have invested in the app, going all out to promote the app, yabona, that is going to generate income for them. Now, if those people, they go out saying, looking for people who are looking to borrow money from a platform, right? You refer them to the platform. It will work in two ways: for safety reasons, for security reasons, and to avoid the risks, right? It will work in this way. Let's say Ndate Khalo refers a person to the what we call the lending and borrowing platform Yarona inside the strategy itself or the crowdfund itself. So o refera motho, ha mo refera motho ona o tlo kadima tšhelete. There are two ways that a person can borrow money from our platform. Rona we are lenders. We are contributing these 100 rands every single month for 36 months, which is a share. It's equal to one share. One share, Rona, is 3,600 rand. So meaning you are going to buy this share a fraction, 100 rand a month for 36 months for you to become a full shareholder in the business, and you will be registered as a full member, Trama Agency Cooperative. So for you to become a full member, you must subscribe, or you must pay that 3,600 rand once off, or you can subscribe and pay it in 36 months. But within that 36 months, things will be happening while we're still contributing those 100 rands. I really wish to go to show you the figures so that you understand what I'm talking about. But before we go to the figures, and at the same time, I'm also worried about time. And maybe we can do a second meeting where I can show you how figures speaks for themselves, right? So I'll show you the figures so that you can see for yourself what I'm talking about and the potential of what I'm talking about. This thing can change our lives forever, right? So let's go back to the lending side of it. We contribute these 100 rands through the platform, and then there are people that we refer to borrow from the platform. And those people who borrow from the platform, and that is before we register this thing as a registered, what you call financial services, right? Before we reach that level, because the process, I know all the processes, the ins and out of the process, what is required, what is needed, and all of that, and the criteria to get the license. So we are moving toward that. Now, in order for us to reach that level where we must have 100,000 savings, we need to start on 100 rand. That's it. But these 100 rand, we lend them out to people that we refer to the platform when we promote the platform, right? We promote the platform. There are two ways now that I'm talking about. It's promoting the platform, but when the people come to the platform, this is what they get. They get access to borrowing money. But when they borrow money, the requirement is we do not borrow a non-member. We do not borrow a non-member. We only borrow money to members. So as a member, we will lend money to you. Let's say in Tatekalo, we lend money to you up to 1,000 rand. Our max is 1,000 rand. We lend money to you 1,000 rand, for an example. And then we say, as a member and as a shareholder, and you've been contributing to the platform, in terms of owning these shares, you've been contributing through buying the shares and paying your fractions every month. Therefore, we can trust you as a member of our stokvel. That's why I said we need people, but closely, Rona, people that we know and people who will understand what we are trying to build here, because we want to build something that is bigger than ourselves. We want to build a legacy for 4 generations after us, right? So ours is to refer those people. When you refer that person, or when you tell them about the app, it's either they are coming to join the platform or they are coming to borrow. And when they are coming to borrow, you would have told them the website will explain everything when the people enters the website. But when we lend to the person who referred the person. We do not lend to a non-member. We lend to the member that referred because we only lend to members. Now, we will lend to Carlo whatever 1,000 AY Shlokan. Carlo will lend it to client to client high or beneficiary or whatever high. You will lend it to them. We expect it to come back with 25% interest, right? Let's say at the end of the month. So when it comes back, it comes with 25% interest. That you will get a percentage. Another thing, which is an opportunity again for people who are already in the business of lending money, right? We will say to them, look, when you join us and become a member or become a shareholder in our platform, we will lend you money. Let's say we lend you 1,000 rand. You normally lend your people 50% with 50% interest. Rona, we only need 25%. We are not asking for much. We're only asking for 25%. So 25% is yours. So we are compensating, or we are complementing, that's the word I'm looking for. We are complementing, say we're now already. In case you have a shortage, wherever you have a shortage, we will borrow you the money, and then you will go and borrow your people, and then you pay us our money with interest. And it's as simple as that. And failing to do so, there will be conditions. If your people don't pay back the money or you don't pay back the money, there will be conditions that I will explain maybe later on. Right. So that's the first way. The second way, once we reach a level where we have 100,000 in savings and register as a financial service cooperative, then things are going to be simple. People can borrow directly from the website. I'm left with 10 minutes. So people can borrow directly from the website. And when they borrow directly from the website, there will be a criteria that does, of course, there's going to be screening, and there's going to be credit regulatory systems that are being checked, and all those things. We know how this borrowing and lending works, right? So there's going to be all those checks and so on. So that is when we reach that level. Now, what I'm saying is, uh, I once sent something to the group trying to show you there's these guys back Pretoria who started a financial service cooperative from 1,000 rand that they borrowed from a friend. And then today that that business Yabona is lending about 250,000 a month nationally, right? They are lending about 250,000 every single month, over 250,000 rand. And you can imagine how much they are making, because interest Yabona, I think, is around about 18% or so. So you can imagine how much they are making, those guys. And it's two boys that started that thing. Now, with that experience, that's what I was trying to show, to say, look, guys, this thing can work if we put our heads together and create this asset for ourselves that people can get into the app and borrow. That is in a nutshell, the lending and borrowing. Now, let's go to the third asset. The asset, number three is a product. The product, I would like to show you something. Today, I went to collect some t-shirts that I was testing this manufacturer, because I didn't trust them that much. So I gave them an opportunity to do the t-shirts for me, and this is what they did for me. I'm just gonna show you this quickly. I'm sure you can see. Let me see, where are those t-shirts? um, where did I save them? Of course, our first product was supposed to be the sneaker, right? Because I had already designed the sneaker. So Ace Club, promoter Ace Club as a brand, right? So this was the sneaker that I had created. We have white, we have black, we have blue, and unfortunately now this one, for us to get to this level, we need about 100 and something, 110, 120,000 to get 100 of these shoes into the country. So before we get to that level, maybe we can start first, kadi t-shirts, caps, the sporty, and all those things. We will start with those simple things. So I wanted to show you these one Sekidi and saying today. I took a picture of my wife. I bought her one of these t-shirts. So I'm trying to open, right there she is. So that is the t-shirt, Yaron. I just wanted to see the material that these guys, and can they design, and also, do I love Msebetu Wabona, or what, right? So we designed about 7 of these as a test fella, or do they know what they're doing? So for me, honestly speaking, because I've been in their factory today, I saw what they are doing there. It's a very big factory. They are working there. And I was just playing around with an idea with this t-shirt. So I cannot say this is the thing, the real thing, I know. But it gives you an idea of what I'm trying to talk about. Now, let's say here is a product. Look, what I believe now, personally, I believe that, ladies and gentlemen, what sells in the business, what sells in the market, is not the product that much, because people can buy Nomaini. People can buy Nomaini. It depends on how you promote Nomaini, right? It depends on how you promote that Nomaini. If you are a good marketer, if you are a good promoter, you can sell Nomaini. I remember at some point we made a herbal product. Uh, it was just a normal herbal product, just sutu. And that herbal product, because I was doing it with somebody more informed, got the network marketing and all of that. That product was making good money. Rato Shapua felt like a financial management, because he was not good in financial management. right? So I realized later, this guy has been taking money from the supplier Starona, and then he's been chowing the money. But I know that that product was making us good money. It was making good money. It's just that management was a problem. So with that being said, I'm trying to say you start with one product, then you move to the second, you move to the third, you move to the fourth. I can say a lot about this, ladies and gentlemen, to say when you know how to sell. That's why we are saying you don't need to do the selling. We will do the selling. You send people to the website. The website, the person who's busy with the website now, I trust him. He will do us justice when it comes to creating a sellable website, right? So the third product, of course, is going to be the product itself. Then we will have different kind of product that we create, maybe monthly or 3 months down the line, we create another one and all of that. And we promote those products. And those products, they become money to you because as an investor, you have invested in creating this asset that we are going to promote. And then this asset makes us money. And when it makes us money, that money is shared amongst ourselves, right? Whether it's monthly or annually, that shall be decided, right? Depending on how the growth looks, right? Then the last part, the third part is the properties. When we venture into real estate now with the partners that I've mentioned, MBM and MSM, right? When we venture into that, we manage to raise, let's say, because according to calculations, within a period of 6 to 9 months, we can be able to raise over 500 meter, right? 500,000, over 500,000. And if we have 500,000, with good negotiation skills and knowledge and all of that and experience that these guys, they can get us, let's say, 2 properties. They're good. The in a good space and good area, and then they can profit us, and then we buy those properties, right? And we own those properties, and the dividends are then shared with the members on annual basis, right? So we just create these assets by just contributing the 100 rands, and then later on we will lend out the fourth one. The fifth one will be lending money to our local businesses, because I'll give you an example. Last week, my younger sister, where they are working, diesel. So they decided to remain. We've been working for this guy for years. Let's create our own thing. Let's buy our own small and trucks. We have clients, and then these clients, they want to give us business. So they bought those trucks. They bought one truck and then buy whatever it's on to buy it, so that it does the service. So they were short of money to go and buy their first order, diesel. Then they called me. In fact, 5,000. If there's anyone that you know, 5,000 and what and what. And I said, if I can get that 5,000 rand, the owner will about a backly interest. And the interest is not bad, it's just 25%, So what I'm trying to say is, and they didn't have a problem with that. So what I'm trying to say is, when we as help assist these small businesses, there are small businesses that when you look at the business with experience that we have, we know that this business has got potential to make money, not 2 years later or 3 years later. They have potential to make money, let's say immediately, right? So those people, we will lend them money, of course, with a contract and certain agreements that we make with them, and then we become the shareholders in the business. And when the business starts running, we have injected the money into that business, and therefore we will obviously become the monitors of the business, and in order to monitor our funds. So and do it assure so that will be arranged, and those things will be done. I know a lot of businesses that can make us good money, and people who've got ideas take serious, and some of them might be in the platform, or you might be one of those right now who's got a business idea that you know that it's sellable, but the only problem so that can be done when we raise these 100 rands and we contribute these 100 rands for the next coming 3 years. Those 100 rands, including the platform itself. Now, the last part is going to be the platform. How does the platform work? The platform works in a certain way. Let me try and skip a certain information because I'm worried I'm left with 1 minute according to Zoom. Right. Let me rush to this part. Here's the part I'm trying to rush to.